Alright, now I've had a lot of people asking me about my solder on the inside of this, my tank pot. You'll notice the solder comes all the way up, it bubbles up, or even outside of it, all the way around just a little bit. And then here's what it looks like on the inside. Okay, and really this is the side you want to put solder on. And you use flux to make sure it pulls in. If you solder things the correct way, even like with this joint right here, you'll notice you almost don't see any solder around the outside. There's a couple of spots that I made it drip, but if you notice on the inside, you can see the solder coming all of the way up to the very edge of the pipe. So all the way through here is full of solder, but there's very little on the outside edges. Now, the rest of this video I'll make to show you how the pot is actually running outside here in a little bit. Alright, so here's my setup while it's running. Load the thump. Now I got the two shut-off valves here. I got currently this one open and this one closed, so I'm not using the thumper. It's going to bypass the thumper, go into the condensing coils, and I'm going to collect my heads, and then I'll shut this valve off, turn this valve on, and use the thumper. But only after I've already collected my heads. Of course, I've got just a cooler with water in it right now. I usually take a 5-gallon bucket, put it in the freezer overnight, get it good and frozen, and then I'll drop it down in here. And I'll have 5 gallons of ice, which will do a whole bunch of runs. Now on this here, that's just a $1 pool noodle I put on there to help conserve some of the heat being transferred up and over. Once it gets hot up into the top, it'll start pouring out real good, and it'll keep that heat in nice and hot. Now I have it that high for a couple of reasons. One, so that way, it doesn't burp if I accidentally overfill my pot. It's not going to throw up inside of my thumper and create the rest of my liquor to be cloudy and nasty. Instead, it might burp up into there and it'll drain back down. And it'll fall before it ever gets to the top. And so this is it. That's the whole setup running. Here in about an hour or so, I should start collecting some alcohol. Alright, here she is running an all-over deal here. That thermometer that come with it says about 205. Now then, that instant read thermometer up there says 165. And apparently my thermal thermometer is not freaking working at all. But, as I said, top valve's closed, bottom valve's open, running through the thumper. Come down here to the little parrot that I made. And as you see, give a little bit of a spin here. Let's see. We're reading it. So let's see if we can get a good reading on this. There we go. Yeah. Still running. I'm running a little bit hot, so I'm running about 140 coming out. But as you see, it's a pretty steady drizzle. I need to turn my temperature down a little bit and I'll get a little bit more heat. But if I keep it around 140, 150, then you get a lot more of the flavors out of the grain that come with it. So there she is. I did sprout a little bit of leek, so I put a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, mixed it up, a real thick paste. Dropped it around those, even the ones that weren't leaking, just in case. I'm not playing fetch with you. All right. Till next time, gentlemen.